Hello my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, my name is Mary and I give you an extra warm welcome. I would love it if you grabbed a snack, stayed for a while, and click the subscribe button. I would love to have you. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. I appreciate you more than you know. So of course, as you could tell by the title of the video, my Odens Eye order came in with the Christmas Eve palette and the Christmas Day palette. Super excited to review and create, I think, 2 eye looks for today. All right, so let's jump on into this video and stick around if you want to see what my thoughts are on this collection. Okay, my lovelies, I did order both palettes. So I ordered the Christmas Eve palette and the Merry Christmas palette. I was calling it Christmas Day. Well, I actually will only be keeping one of these palettes and I'm going to keep the Christmas Eve. I have a lot of warm tones in my collection and therefore I decided this is the one that I'll be giving away. They did send 2 cute little keychains. So the one for the Merry Christmas, I'll go ahead and put that along with the giveaway so you can get that, and I'll keep the one for Christmas Eve. My toddler, my oldest, already saw this and claimed it. So okay, yeah, so we're only going to be playing with the Christmas Eve palette today, but don't worry, I will be creating 2 eye looks for you. I did open up both palettes just to make sure they were good, nothing was broken. So I will sanitize the Merry Christmas palette for you, whoever the winner ends up being. Okay, so it looks like both of these palettes, or this collection I should say, is sold out on Odens Eye. I do believe they did like a restock, a pre-order, but I don't think they're going to do another one. So it is completely sold out. So this is basically, it's a review of course, but it's mostly just creating more eye looks for those of you who did get your hands on this palette so that I can inspire you for some eye looks, because you can no longer get this palette. Now they did say that they are dropping another collection either in November or December, but another collection is coming before the end of the year, and I think that is the reason why they're not doing another restock for this palette. But I'm super excited to dip into this. I paid $43.90 for this palette, a little bit more on the expensive side for Odens Eye, I feel like. And it has, it was made in China, and I don't see a shelf life on here. They are vegan and cruelty free, but yeah, I don't see a shelf life. So if you know, let me know down below. Okay, here is what the palette itself looks like. So pretty. And as you can tell, it's more of a cool tone kind of story. I've mentioned this a couple of times in my channel, but I don't own too many cool tone palettes. Now this does have some blues. If you've been here for a while, you know. Blues, I have a little bit of a love-hate relationship with them. Like, I want to work with them a little bit more and get more comfortable with blues, but I feel like most of the time I kind of just think I look like a clown. All of these look absolutely stunning and I cannot wait to create an eye look with this. Okay, let's get started. I did go into my NARS eye base. I'm in my hoodie. We're going to the grocery store later, so I cannot get too creative with this first eye look. So my apologies. It's going to be a tiny bit more on the subtle side. I don't know where to start, but all of these shades look so pretty. Okay, I think I'm going to jump into this shade here, which is Nowhere. And this is a Refer 27. It's a nice fluffy brush. I think this is my 3rd Odens Eye palette. When I ordered the Gila palette that Angelica Nyqvist collaborated with them, I did order another one along with that palette. And so far, I do enjoy the Odens Eye formula. I think it is very, very pretty, especially the shimmers. I feel like a lot of indie brands, their strong suit is the shimmers. But I feel like Odens Eye also has a decent matte formula. There are some shades that I've had issues with before, but I do feel like the matte formula is also pretty decent. Okay, such a beautiful light purple with a gray tone in there, like a mauve gray toned light purple. By the way, oh my gosh, you see this? My lip split with all the damn snow we keep getting. So cold in here. Okay, kind of want to dip into this mossy green right here softly. And I think I'm going to do it more on like a light, subtle way, just so this look can still be like pretty wearable. This is a BK Beauty 202. It's a nice fluffy brush. And I'm going to use this on the outer corner and a tiny bit on the crease. It's such a beautiful color. I love green tones like that. Just green tones that you would find in like a swamp, you know? So pretty. Down here too. Only about third way in. Okay, this is what it's looking like. I would have never thought to put those two shades together, and I feel like they look very pretty. I might deepen it up a tiny bit more, but I think for now I'm liking what I'm seeing. Now I'm going to dip into some shimmers. Let's start with this one here. Slivery Dream. Let me put on some glitter glue real quick. Okay, glitter glue is down. Now we're going into Slivery Dream. Oh, so pretty. And I only put glitter glue on just so that I can prevent major fallout, you know? I don't feel like this needs glitter glue. That's a pretty shade. I like the color story of this palette. I feel like you still get the Christmas Eve bluey vibes, but not extreme, you know? And I think that's what attracted me the most to this palette. Even though the Merry Christmas palette is also very pretty, there's just something about this one that kind of just attracted me a tiny bit more. All right, now we're going to jump into Snowflake. That looks like it might be more of a silver kind of shade. So I'm lightly going to dip into it. Oh yeah, and this one has a shift in there. Kind of like a light blue shift in there. Very pretty. You see that? Okay, here's what that's looking like. Now I'm going to jump in to Ice Crystal, which is that very pretty light, almost periwinkle blue. And I'm using a BK Beauty 207. I did go in to some white concealer just so it can really pop. Oh yeah, beautiful. I mean, Angelica Nyqvist collaborated with Odens Eye, and she loves matte inner corners. So I had to, and I felt like that shade is perfect for an inner corner. Okay, let me finish up and I will be back to show you the final review. Okay, my lovelies, here is the finished first eye look. I think it came out beautiful. Finally covered up my little open wound on my lip. I did use a lip brush just because I don't want to contaminate my lipsticks with my blood. And I went in to Natasha Denona lipstick from the I Need a Nude collection in Maria. And I went into the Dominique Cosmetics lip liner in Nudie. For the eyes, I only did mascara, and I actually decided not to do any liner. I like the way it looks without the liner. I think it looks just pretty. Doesn't need it. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this eye look. I think it came out pretty nice. It's definitely a subtle kind of eye look, but with a tiny bit of a pop right in the inner corner. I'm really enjoying this. Sorry, the sun is reflecting on the windshield of my car, and that's why it's creating this. Okay, but let's go ahead and move on to eye look number 2. We'll see what I come up with. More than likely, it's going to be a different day. I'll try to film it on the same day, but we'll see. Okay, look number 2. Okay, my lovelies, let's start eye look number 2 with the Odens Eye Christmas Eve palette. The dryer is going. My apologies. There's not much I can do about it. Okay, so I definitely want to dip into some of these blues. We'll see how it goes. This one right here, which looks like it's more of a almost very dark forest green, almost like it has black in it. Night Sky is the name of the shade. This is a BK Beauty 203. It's like a fluffy flat brush. I already primed my eyes. I went in to the NARS eye base, and it's a whole different day. So I did not get to film on the same day this look. So here we are. Okay, and I'm going to start in the outer corner. I'm going to start by stamping this first. You already know that I like to wing out my eye looks. I'm also going to bring a tiny bit of this on the lower lash line. Okay, there it is. Very beautiful shade, and it goes pretty deep, which I enjoy. Okay, next is this shade here. Christmas Eve, which it looks almost like it's a navy blue, but I don't think it's going to pull quite that dark. Okay, this is in Arial and Sigma A29, and this is gonna go right next to this first shade. I'm tapping first. I am going to blend, but I want to make sure I lay down the shade first before I go in and blend. Can you even tell the difference in the two shades? I guess one's a little bit more blue, and the other one you can clearly tell it has green in there, you know? Okay, this is what that is looking like. I feel like this one looks more full than the other one, doesn't it? I did blend out just a tiny bit that first shade. This is what happens when your eyes are not symmetrical. They just look different in the process, you know? Okay. All right, now with this fluffy brush, this is a Morphe M433. I'm going to dip into the yellow, which is called Liamab Tart. Could be saying that wrong. Okay, and I'm going to use this to lightly blend out the edges of these shades, and also to have a slight pop of like yellow in there. This is a pretty yellow. And I'm not trying to blend it too much because I don't want this to turn muddy, you know? I am going to bring the yellow in here, right here in the lower inner corner, and then if you have a wipe handy, wipe it in between so that it doesn't start to get muddy. Okay, this is what it's looking like. This yellow almost looks like it has a tiny bit of sheen in it. I haven't swatched this palette, so I don't know. You see it? It actually looks very pretty. Okay, now let's go into some shimmers, and darn it, I forgot glitter glue. Let me put that on real quick and I'll be back. Okay, glitter glue is on. And I'm going to dip into, I think, oh, should I do Gorgeous? I feel like Gorgeous, yeah, it has a blue and a purple shift in here. So let's jump into that one, just because I feel like it'll go good with the blue tone I have on here. Yeah, this is the shifty shade. And that's gonna go right in here. Pro tip, if you have glitter glue on your eyelid and you're using your fingers, clean your finger in between dips. That way it doesn't cause hard pan on your shimmery shade, because it definitely can. Some of that glitter glue transfers onto your finger and then onto your pan, so that just, it helps a tiny bit. This is a very beautiful shade. Okay, that's a beautiful shade, and I like it because there's a shift of blue and purple. I did want some purple in this eye look. Okay, now we're going to jump into some gold. So we're going to do this shade here, which is called Snow Light. I'm going to go in with my index finger. It's going to go right in the inner corner. And I did bring a tiny bit of that yellow in the crease. Not a lot, just a tiny bit. Okay, this is what it's looking like. Now I'm going to dip into my little Ofra pencil brush, and I am wetting it with Fix Plus, and I'm going to dip into that same yellow shade that I put in the inner corner, Snow Light. And I'm just going to bring that into the inner corner and a tiny bit down here. I was going to use a matte, but I changed my mind. I decided that this would kind of make it look a little bit more cohesive and completed in a way. I don't know, I just didn't like how the yellow was kind of pulling away from everything else, but I think this is gonna help with that. Okay, so let me go ahead and put on mascara, finish up my face, and we will talk about this palette and this collection. Okay, my lovelies, here is the finished second eye look. I honestly like it a lot more than I thought I was going to. So at the end, once I was done with everything, I took a clean fluffy brush and just kind of went over all of the edges so that everything just looks nice and blended, almost like an airbrush kind of feel. The sun is hitting my windshield in the car in front of me, so my apologies, but it's not too blinding yet. Yeah, so here it is. It is so pretty, and like I said, I like it more than I thought I was going to. Usually blue throws me off, but I feel like this looks good. Now, I probably should have used the lighter blue instead of going with like that deep forest green blue. This one and then this one. I probably should have done this and then this one, because I feel like the corner, you can't even tell that there's two different shades in there. So that is probably the only thing that I would change about the actual eye look. I decided just to do mascara, and I actually don't have any eyeliner on. I felt it looked a lot prettier and more open without any liner, and I'm actually pretty happy. My lips are looking a little bit too pink for my liking. My lip cracked again this morning and it started bleeding. Yeah. Okay, my lovelies, I absolutely adore this palette. Even though it's a cool tone palette and I feel like it has a tiny bit more blues than I would like, I feel like it's done the right way. It's not too much blue. I feel like it's the perfect amount of blue, and all of the other shades that were picked in here are just so pretty. And there's a couple that I didn't use, and I'm actually pretty excited to use those as well. I will be doing a little quickie eye look series during the month of December. So I'll either do 14 or 15 days where you'll get an eye tutorial every single day. It's going to be like a short 5 to 7 minute video, and I'm going to include a lot of the newer palettes that I recently purchased, but I don't think that's quite 14 or 15 palettes. So I will put a little comment on my community tab here on YouTube, and make sure to comment any palette that you would like to be featured in the little series. It could be an older one, and if I have it, I can definitely pull it. If some are more popular than the others, then of course I'll go with those. And if you see somebody comment the one that you were going to comment, give that comment a like, and then that way I know that that's the palette you want. But yeah, so keep a lookout for that. I would love your input on which palettes to use. All right, I do know that this palette is sold out. I'll go ahead and insert swatches of the palette here right now. And for good reason, because the quality is very, very nice. I feel like when it comes to indie brands, you already know that the shimmers are going to be good. It's the mattes that you kind of don't know if it's going to be a hit or miss. So far, every single shade, at least matte shade that I have used, it worked beautifully. I think there's only 2 matte shades in this palette that I haven't used, and it's the pretty blue one and that beautiful green. It looks almost like a sage green, but everything else performed excellent. Absolutely excellent. Shimmers are gorgeous. Odens Eye does a really, really, really good job with their shimmers. All 3 of the palettes that I have, including this one, the shimmers, they're just spectacular. You can't go wrong with Odens Eye formula when it comes to the shimmers. So I'm actually pretty glad that I was introduced to this brand a little bit over a year now. Has it been over a year? Maybe it's been a year ago. And I'm super stoked that they keep coming out with great collections. I don't think they're restocking this collection. So if you got your hands on both palettes or either one of the palettes, I hope you are loving it as much as I am. Okay, so what do you need to do to be entered into the giveaway for the Merry Christmas palette from Odens Eye? All you need to do is comment down below what shade is the shade that I have the most issues working with as far as eyeshadow. Make sure to leave your handle. I would prefer Instagram. Don't put the @ symbol because that usually messes up the comments, and it sometimes doesn't. It either deletes your comment or it doesn't show your comment. 18 and over, for now, only US, just because it's quite a bit to ship out of the US, and I don't really make too much money for my channel just yet. I can't even cover like what I spend to review for my channel yet. Make sure to comment what I asked down below. 18 and over, US only. Make sure to like this video and also make sure you are subscribed. And that is it. Those are all the rules for the giveaway. I'll be checking, so make sure you are following all of the rules. But I think that pretty much concludes this video and review of the Christmas Eve palette from Odens Eye. I created 2 eye looks for you and showed you some swatches. I don't really have too much to compare to because this is a color story that is not common at all in my collection. Well, my lovelies, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate every single one of you. You have no idea. All the comments, all the likes, everything. It helps out my channel so, so much. And those of you who have or do purchase through my links, thank you so much. That helps out more than you know. Okay, well, with that being said, I would love it if you gave this video a big thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it, and you would definitely help me out in the algorithm of hopefully bringing some new and fresh eyes to my channel. And if you haven't done so already, I would love it if you joined my small YouTube family by clicking the subscribe button. I would love to have you. All right, I will see you on the next video. Bye.